In 3, 2, 1. We're back. Yay, huzzah. I missed you guys last Friday. Don't get me wrong, I didn't miss you that much. I had family in town and a wonderful Thanksgiving feast and all those other things that go with it. But, you know, you guys are part of my life, part of my habit. What do we got here? Well, it didn't appear. Oh, there it is. Well, back channel, that's better than Janet Jackson. But I could do that. All right, what is going on with all these screens? I guess I can shrink that one and goodness gracious. Oh, okay, I see what's going on. All right, I'm kind of centered in there, and good Friday, good Pi Day Friday, good drama, whatever this thing, dramas. And while you don't see him on camera, Scott Jernigan is working the back channel. They dumped a huge amount of stuff on him today, and he said, I'm not even going to go on before the show and do mic testing with Dave. I'm just going to assume everything works out brilliantly, and so far it has. So pleased to see that. This is, what is it? It's December, right? Yeah, it's December 3rd. Mike didn't mention it. It's the first day of December on his and when Scott was on there. So, but I'll mention it. Welcome to December. It's about the end of the year. I am David Rush. I am the senior instructor at Total Seminars, and this is Pi Day Friday. It's an Ask Me Anything. So we try to stay in our lane. We're generally Comptia and Raspberry Pi stuff here, but we'll go afield if necessary. No religion, no politics. But other than that, let's have a little fun with it. Beg your pardon. My throat is mostly back to normal. Yay. But still a little bit of clearing to do. So we get together every Friday at 2 o'clock Central Time on the Total Seminars channel. Mike Myers, the president of Total Seminars and senior author and many other hats, has been kind enough to grant me these 2 hours to get with you every week or so and talk about how we can use Raspberry Pis to further our studies in all things technical, obviously, and most forcefully, that's a terrible choice of words. We use it as a tool to help learn aspects of various Comptia certifications, big ones being IT fundamentals, A+, Net+, Security+, and others. We've been playing with the cybersecurity and a couple other goodies like that. I've been doing a lot of work with them in preparation for a stand-up class that we're shooting for in January in doing SQL servers on them. I've been learning a lot about SQL and doing it all on Raspberries. So I'm semi-joined by our erstwhile partner, my erstwhile partner. Oh, sorry, I'm wiggling the camera, sorry. Scott Jernigan. Scott Jernigan, the senior editor at Total Seminars, co-author, author, chef de cuisine. And I saw him working on a loom the other day, making a sweater out of possum hair. So there's just no end to his skill set. Musician too, he wants me to mention. So he's working the back channel. By all means, talk to him. Use the @ sign of the pound sign and just start typing in Scott. You'll see his name. Scott, make sure you, I don't know if you posted anything yet, so I don't know if your name appears in the magical mystery tour that is us. I'll move my notes over here. Oh, let's see. Reading my own notes. Sometimes I crack myself up. Andrew Hutz often works the back channel. Not today. He's got a shindig going on. So you're welcome to try and talk with him. And I'll put some contact information here. In fact, let's just mention that and get that out of the way, because I do want to do a quick show today. Got some other stuff. Thank you, back channel. Scott's the only one working the back channel. We'll say Scott. Sorry, I'm in such a good mood. I'm so glad to get back to this. No, it's not iced tea. It's the keto version of Dr. Pepper, which is a cherry soda with a little bit of real Dr. Pepper in there, because I discovered when I poured it today that keto sodas are clear, and that's unnerving. It's a little bit disturbing. Anyways, This is an Ask Me Anything. Easiest thing to do to communicate with me is to post a message, a comment, a question, whatever you got on the live YouTube chat feed. If that's not possible, you're watching at some other time, and you've got too long of a message, there are other ways by which you can communicate with myself and with Scott and Andrew and other people at Total Seminars. Ooh, almost hit the wrong button there. And shut the whole thing off. There we go. So you can email me. I am Dave R at totalsem.com because I'm Dave Rush and I work at Total Seminars. You can also use my personal email, drushtx at Yahoo. Communicate with Scott Jernigan, Scott J at totalsem.com, and likewise Andrew Hutz, Andrew H at totalsem.com. We all steam. I'm Blood Rush TX. Scott is Scarheart, and Andrew is the Green Abyss. There's other contact information on this screen. Just pause it if you need to see that and make an effort to contact us in other ways. But I'm just going to be buzzing along here. So what are we doing here? Well, we're here to advance technical learning while isolated during the coronavirus situation. This is episode number 69 of Drama. And I don't know how many more we've got for the end of the year, because we've got 2 more challenges coming up with Friday presentations and the Christmas holidays and New Year's Eve. So I don't know what I'm going to do with those, but I know that I'll be here next week. And by then I will probably have come up with some kind of decision, or a decision will have been made on my behalf. We'll see. They let me do pretty much whatever I want as far as doing or not doing the show, because they know I always want to do it. We get together every Friday, 2 o'clock. This channel did that for any of our AMAs, ask questions, and cool. All right, so we got specials. We got specials. Let me get to my slide that has specials on it. Because the world has changed a little bit with respect to specials. There we go. Nope, that's not it. That's the one I just closed. There we go. Show notes, specials. Here we go. So here's what's changed. The special itself is the same. We've got a new code this week, as we often do. I just posted the special of the week, 50% off ebook and total tester bundles. Applies to A+ bundles, Net Plus bundles, Security Plus bundles, CYSA bundles, Pen Test Plus, and AWS Systems Architecture Associate. Just go to totalsem.com and use the code when you check out BLUE, B-L-U-E, uppercase, lowercase, doesn't matter, initial cap. Those are the 3 that work. And what has changed isn't that, it's the other thing. So we'll let that go. Nothing changed there. Other than I'm going to be helping out a little more than that. All right, moving on. Back to notes. Where'd you go? Notes? There they are. Those look kind of like notes. Specials are good through December 5th. That's this Sunday. Then that code will expire, and who knows, they may come up with something else next week, and I know they'll come up with a new code next week. So the world waits. Projects. Sometimes you need Raspberry Pi. Sometimes you can use any Linux distro. Today, let me think about this. I didn't think about it in advance. VLC, CVLC. You could use any Linux distro to do today's project, so you don't have to do it on a Raspberry Pi. But I think it's cooler to do it on a Raspberry Pi. In fact, I think that today's project is the ideal project for the new Raspberry Pi that got released, I don't know, about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, the Raspberry Pi 02, which is basically the guts of a Raspberry Pi 3 squeezed onto the frame of a Raspberry Pi 0. So it's like a Raspberry Pi 0, but it's a much more powerful CPU, more powerful USB ports, a couple other goodies like that, more RAM. Maybe more RAM, don't know. All right, where we've been, where we're going here, and what we're going to do about it. So last week, we didn't do anything. I was off for Thanksgiving vacation holiday here. Seeing notes. Okay, thank you. Took off last week. The week before that, we started part 1 of a 2-part project, building a motion activated talking clock. And we worked with Bash script, to come up with time and date variables. We used the eSpeak program. We modified it to change its voice and pacing. And then we built a script that will speak the current time on a trigger. So part 2 is the trigger, which is going to be a motion sensor. However, because of a bazillion things that have happened, I did not get much of a chance to work on that. And I abandoned the project for this week. I'm going to move that to a week or two down the road, because I found a project that's simple, easy for everybody to do. Everybody has all the things necessary to do it. So we're doing a whole new project today, and we'll get on to part 2 when it happens. We're going to create today a digital fireplace. Now you could use that for any cold weather situation, and warm weather if you just want to have a fire going on a screen somewhere in your home. I got this from, there's lots of people who do digital fireplaces, but I found this on Reddit where a person created his own cardboard and wood fireplace frame. He doesn't have a fireplace, and then mounted a monitor or a TV in there. So I'll leave that part to you if you want to do a fireplace, make yourself a wooden cardboard and paint one, or use, he had some really cool 3-dimensional sticky stones that he created to make brickwork. I have a fireplace that's a gas fireplace. We don't use it. And so, but it fits perfectly an old 32-inch television that I've had up in my studio for many, many moons. And I went and looked at the size of that and said, oh, that fits brilliantly. Let's have a little fun with it. Now, the goal of this thing is to create a digital fireplace. However, the learning goal is a little different, right? We're trying to use Raspberry Pis to learn things. And one of the things, the thing we're going to learn today is Crontab. It's the very powerful Linux scheduler to, oh, you can do all kinds of triggers. We're going to do time triggers. At a certain time, this image is displayed. At a certain time, it's stopped. At a certain time, this video plays. And at a certain time, it stopped. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. And then the videos and the images that I'm using are fireplace stuff. So you could replace that with anything that you want. You could set up a television, a monitor, whatever you like, that will use Crontab to trigger a display program, and it will turn on when you want and run as long as you want and turn off when you want. Now, we got a couple of scripts that we're going to build today, and they're not stunningly complicated, but they're way too complicated for you to follow along while I'm typing or something like that. And so I have the Pi-R Square Zapto document archive server up and running. It will run all day today, and I will let it run through the weekend. Let me post the link for that. Okay, just posted that at whatever the current time is, 2:12. And you're going to want to go there, and the first link in there takes you to the downloads page. The last of the downloads page takes you to today's documents, and there's all my notes, all my outlines, all the pictures that I'm using. I think there might even be a video in there, not certain. But most importantly, there's a couple of files in there that are the 2 scripts that you need. One is called video loop, and the other one is called video loop -off. And you can just copy and paste the contents of those when you create your own video loop and video loop files today. So that's the plan for today. Okay, need that. I'm not going to do a lot of interesting news, tricks, and traps. However, I will mention one or two. Schleswig-Holstein, the northernmost state in Germany, has plans to move almost entirely to open source. So by the time the dust settles, the regional government will have dropped Windows, Microsoft Office, Zoom, other proprietary software, and swap it out for Linux, LibreOffice, OnlyOffice, Jitsi. Jitsi is really cool. It's a free open source video conferencing tool for web and mobile. It's kind of like Zoom, but it's also supports more than that. It's got VoIP going on and video conferencing, and it works on all kinds of different platforms. So they're not the first good sized government body to do this. However, they are the next, and it's pretty darn impressive. One other little newsy item. I have successfully established full contact with the folks at Tenable rather, for their Nessus 10 product. We are going to build a Nessus 10 presentation. They are fully behind it and helping out. And I imagine that's going to happen in February. Remember, Nessus is a program that runs on a computer. They make a Raspberry Pi version that you put into a place that you're pen testing, and it does various tests and monitoring on that site and sends the results to your central location for collection and analysis. So that's just a really cool thing for you pen testers and you white hat hackers. Cool stuff. Just reading my notes here. Okay, we got through a lot of that. Let me see what's going on with the who's here. It is 4:15. That's cool. So tell you what, first in, as ever and always, Scott's here. Okay, at 14:09, we got to deal with something there. Wilson Kunzwana is here. Hello, Wilson. Nice to see you again. And TD Washington. TD, are you changing names again? Or is that a new one? Okay. Darius Bryant, greetings and salutations. Alan Duggan is here from the hinterlands in the far north. What did you forget, Scott? What did I miss? Okay. Oh, yeah. It's stuff I say. Tallwood, I tried to make digital fireplace on my own. I know not even to bother to read the rest of that. Yes, your legend is eternal and your skill set grows infinitely. Joey Ketzel's here. What are your thoughts on MSP, a managed service provider? Okay, so for those who don't know, it's a third-party company that remotely manages the information technology for a customer, their infrastructure, their end user systems. What do I think of it? If an organization can't do it, then you contract to have it done, right? In the meantime, you either work to see if that's something that you want to develop and grow in-house and use the contractor services until you don't need it anymore. I have no opinion. I don't think it's a good thing or a bad thing. It is an available service for those organizations that need it. So sorry, I don't have anything better than that. I think it's the greatest thing ever, and no organization should ever manage their own IT infrastructure. It's always be done MSPs. Or we could go the other way. Are you kidding? Would you use an MSP? You've got people like all the experts that are here who could do that stuff. Sorry, Joe. No strong opinion one way or the other. Oh, okay. Scott posted the special. I posted it immediately there. So, oh, and I super scroll. Wonder. Stadia Shark is here, also from a little farther south of Alan Duggan. I wonder, Stadius, I was thinking about you the other day when you guys got hit with some heavy weather. I hope you weren't too badly impacted. Obviously, you're online, so if you were badly impacted, you've recovered well enough to get online by now. Wilson at 2:07. I have timestamps turned on. You should turn timestamps on your system so you can see where I'm at and I've gotten to your question yet, or if I haven't, if I missed it, you can post it again. Or Scott will probably remind me. He's good at that stuff. Anyways, Wilson says, in cloud computing, what's the best way of understanding? Well, this is the same question, Wilson, that you asked Mike the other day. I don't have a better answer than the one he gave you on Wednesday. What's the best way of understanding it? Study it. Learn about it. Try to get your fingers in it. I mean, look, let's do the easy ones real quickly. SAS. I don't call it AA because it takes too long to say. But now that I explain it, I could say it AAS all the time, right? Anyways, SAS, software as a service. So that encompasses two territories, and they're really easy to understand once you kind of use and internalize it. One, it's a software subscription service. So if you're using Office 365 and you're paying your monthly or annual dues, they will make sure that you always have the most current version. The other aspect of software as a service is a web application, right? So just about anything that runs a program on your behalf in a web, doesn't just show web pages, but actually does things for you, is interactive. That's an example of software as a service. Platform as a service and infrastructure as a service, they're kind of related. Infrastructure as a service says, we're going to take all of the physical things that would create a network, the routers, the computers, the cabling, most of the physical infrastructure, and virtualize it in a cloud. So all you need is a dumb terminal to access the various resources there. Now you could have a smart terminal, or you could have a dumb terminal, depending on if you're doing DAS, desktop as a service. Desktop as a service says there is a computer out there running a copy of Windows or running a copy of Linux, and you just need a thin client in order to connect to the web and access that thing, and suddenly that machine becomes your machine. You are nothing more than the screen and keyboard of that box up there running Linux or Windows or Mac OS or whatever the case may be. So, but the best way to understand those is not for me to give you 10-sentence explanations. It's for you to research them, study them, find examples of them, and use them. That's the best way to learn anything. Use it, get your hands on. Hope that helps. Andre is working on my pie hole on the other screen. My ISP screwed up again. Yeah, I've got a lot of reports this week. Sorry, I dropped something that I want to share with you in a bit. One of the big ISPs here in the States, Spectrum, is doing things with their cable modems and their various boxes that are making usage of Pi-hole a little more challenging. Such is the nature of technology. People put up roadblocks, other people find ways around them. There are digital fireplaces on YouTube. Yeah, right. I mean, if you want, you can set up a YouTube channel and just go to it and watch that. But, you know, this is Linux and you can't do anything with Crontab with that. People talking to each other, passing 215. It's getting a bit goofy over here too. Okay. I'm getting some sputtering. Sorry, can't change that. My system is clean. I have very little running on it today. Hey, we're gonna make things happen quickly today. I'm gonna try and shut down on the half hour of the second hour, 3:30 my time, because I got to race my little self to the aeropuerto and meet my missus. Well, I've met her before, you know. Max headroom references, goodness gracious. I can't see myself stuttering, so I love Max Headroom. I love the guy who plays him. Tarun is here after a long period. Tarun, I have seen a lot of activity on LinkedIn with your new achievement in the last week. Congratulations. Nice to see you back. Yeah, I thought, okay, TD Washington, you've shrunk off the even out. Very good. Avanet, Avanet, nut. reading comments, passing 217. Jason Helms is here, who has finally joined us once again. Steady Sharp from the UK, not the part that was hit by bad weather. Okay, good. Yes, I knew you were UK. Tarun, do we need to reconfigure some aspect of switch configuration if they abruptly lose power? You should not have to. If it's an unmanaged switch, there's nothing to configure. If it's a managed switch, the setting should stay set in the double EEPROM that's in there. So no, nothing you should have to do. Right, because envision if you unplugged a switch or a bank of switches and then plugged them back in, if you'd had to reconfigure those every time somebody turned it off or unplugged it or changed it, wow, what a horrible product that would be. Nobody would ever buy it. My pleasure, Wilson. Okay. Going for A+. Yeah, A+ doesn't get deep into this. Just know the basic definitions of that kind of stuff. Tullowit, yeah, so I posted that on Discord channel. Tullowit, you got the blizzard coming, and they say 12 inches. I didn't read the article, but I'm thinking if It says possible blizzard for Hawaii, 12 inches expected. That's got to mean on the hilltops, not down on the beaches, but I could be wrong. Yeah, okay, Steady Shark. Very good. That gets me caught up there. Let me get caught up on show notes. And cool, we're at 25. We're going to start project in a few minutes here. Yeah, look at that. That's my 5-minute warning. Let me put this up. Back channel, if you want to put up the friend of show plugs, cool. I'm going to throw that up on a slide. Friends of show plug. There's a slide for that. So we've added a new friend of show. Pardon me. Let me get this displayed before I start talking about it. So we have people who participate in this show on the chat channel who also run various YouTube and other sites for interest's sake, and they are our friends, and so we gladly give them a little plug. So Andrew Hutz, who's not here today, he runs a site where he talks about all kinds of security topics, very interesting stuff. He's a good and interesting writer. Tullowit has a fairly new video that he's put up on his YouTube channel. He does slices of life in Hawaii, and Scott's posting those. You'll be able to copy paste them off of the YouTube chat. But if you missed that, okay, all three friends posted. Thank you very much. Elbow hasn't been here for a while. He's got this reality check show, so we're not posting that one on thing until I hear from him again, make sure he's cool. And then our new guy, Bearded IT Dad, he's got advice and insights on growing your career in the IT field. And he's been a regular who's turning up on Mike's show and my show on occasion. So. Reading my notes. Okay, that takes care of everything there. Let me get the last questions, and then we're going to start La Progetto today here. Sip of water. You're very welcome, Tarun. Reading messages, passing 224. Jason's been busy with work. Jason got work. When we met Jason, he was looking for tech work and hanging out here on these forums and learning, and now he's fully entrenched, and I imagine will not be long before he moves up in his organization or moves on to another organization. Others who have joined us here have done that. Reading messages. Okay, good to see. Cable Dog is here. Congratulations on the win last week. Your stuff will be sent tonight after we get today's winner. It only snows high in the mountains on the Big Island. Sure, that makes a ton of sense. I imagine you'll get that, miracle one every now and again, every 70 years, where some flakes make it down to the low grounds. That'd be cool. I tell you what, latest video went up 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. And it might be time for me to work on another one. Absolutely. Once a month, I would think, for a blog like yours is on track. All right. I'm going to get started on a digital fireplace. I couldn't find the right terminology to use for my project title here. So this one says a digital fireplace operated by Crontab. Okay, well, it's going to be controlled and turned on and off using the features of Crontab. So what is Crontab? Crontab, or cron, is a powerful and flexible command scheduler. It's found in all Linux distros. Its official name is the periodic command scheduler, and it has all kinds of triggers, including time of day, day and hour, day of week, month, and some other things that I'm going to show you. It also has other triggers like on boot, on the shutdown command issued, and other kinds of techno internal triggers. Challenges. My challenges, I wanted you to be a little bit aware of them. So I found a gent on Reddit who posted how he did his digital fireplace. It was an overview. It wasn't a step-by-step, and that's fine. But the real big problem is he wrote it for a video player that has been deprecated in Raspberry Pi OS. Now, he says this thing is working. He actually shows video of it working. And so what that tells me is one of two things is going on. He's either using a legacy distro of Raspberry Pi OS. Remember, we just upgraded to Bullseye about a month ago from Buster. That's the generation of Linux at the core. And whenever a new distro comes out, there's obviously a lot of changes here. So he's either using old Buster or even older than that, and they were using a video player program back then called OMX Player, or he upgraded his Buster to Bullseye. That also continues to allow OMX Player to work. But I said, I advocate using the newest and latest and greatest OSs. That can bite you sometime, and I have been bitten by it once with a piece of equipment that won't work anymore. I'll get that in a second. But OMX Player does not work if you do a fresh install of Bullseye. So I had to take his general thoughts and notes and convert them to use another program. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of different command switches and things like that, but we're going to use VLC, which is very common. Some of you use it on Windows. It's available for Mac. It's available for Linux. And what's cool about it is it's included in Raspberry Pi OS, so you don't have to install it. No download necessary. So that was my biggest challenge, taking what he did with old obsolete stuff and updating it to current. He also, I don't want to call him sloppy or any bad names or anything like that, but his expectation of people's levels of knowledge and expertise is much higher than a lot of people actually have, and would not be able to follow what he did. So my job, of course, is to take that and turn it into something that you can follow step by step if you are an absolute newbie at this thing. Hardware. Well, let's go back to challenges. So I just picked at random a micro SD card, installed the new latest Raspberry Pi OS on it, and it was a 16 gig, slapped it in and started testing. And when I got it working, I discovered that 16 gig is enough if you are going to put on a video, Fireplace video or something else, that's about 10 gigs or smaller. But anything than that, you have two choices. Start with a bigger micro SD card, 32 gig, 64, maybe bigger, or you go ahead and use that 16 gig and then add a flash drive and put your video on there and read the video off the flash drive, thumb drive. The faster device you use, micro SD card, the happier you'll be. I copied up a 4 gig video file for my initial testing. It took an hour and 20 minutes. And then later I said, well, I got to try this 9 gig. And not surprisingly, that took a little over 2 hours. I did it as an overnight. And of course, if your card is slow technology, it'll do a choppy playback. When I demonstrated to you today, playback is going to be choppy, but it doesn't look choppy on the real directly attached thing. That happens because we're going over the network here and going through a lot of different software. Okay, reading notes, did that. Type of Pi, anything will work from a 0 to the most current 4. I'm doing it on a 3B or a 3B plus. I didn't even bother to check. There's some speed differences in the two, but I don't know what I got. So it's a 3, but I don't know that I would do it on a 0. I'd like it to have a little bit more memory, especially if you're going to do a large video and you want a lot of it to be cached up. But it'll work. And I think this would be, as I said, just an ideal project for the new Raspberry Pi Zero Model 2. I mean, it's only this big. You tape it to the back of your monitor or you dangle it, and it's got plenty of power to do everything that it does. Of course, you need an enclosure for it, power supply, an appropriate micro SD card, or you could boot straight off a flash drive or an external drive, whatever. You're going to need an HDMI cable that goes from your Pi to your monitor or your screen. Remember, if you're using 4, you're going to have a micro HDMI connector on one side. and then whatever size, probably normal, on your monitor or screen. You need a fireplace. It could be a real one, could be a gas one, could be a do-it-yourself cardboard, wood, paint, brick, whatever you got. So as I said, I got a gas fireplace. I'd never light it. Well, here, let me show you a picture of it. I have pictures. You have pictures? I have pictures. That's real. I can do that one. Share screen. So this is my real fireplace. That's a digital fire in it. Oh, there we go. Another view, a little different lighting. Oh no, that was the video of it. I'll show you the video later. So this one has these chain link curtains that you draw back and forth, and they aren't very flexible. They're fine side to side, but up and down, they're very, very hard. I had a tough time getting them in there. So I found on Craigslist for a couple of bucks. That's my living room. It looks like that because of the flooding in the house. So everything has been kind of shoved onto shelves and things like that. I apologize. Yeah, okay, there's cool toys in here. Stop your screen and study it. That's an R2-D2 piggy bank. Okay, so I got a different, oh, this one's not mine. This is somebody else's, but I kind of stole from this. I got a frame like that. And what's really cool, you want to use a screen of some kind in front of this, because if you're using a monitor or a television, see the black, actually this black is actually the black of the frame over on the sides of the fireplace. But here we got this shiny frame around, this is a television, it's 32-inch TV. So the chain link here kind of obscures it, but this thing does a much better job obscuring it. So that's what my fireplace looks like, empty. Here's the chain link curtains. And this is the one that the gent who created his own built. So this is cardboard and wood. Here's the 3-dimensional sticky brick. He found that for a couple of cents off eBay, he said. So that's a really good looking process. All right. I'm not going to show you the video of it because I'm going to show you the real thing as we get moving. So cool project. You can adapt this to any video, any start time, any stop time. The way that the gent did it, I think was really cool. He set it up to start at whatever time of day, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, evening, whatever, stops at midnight. And then he called for a second program to put a still image on his television of a blank fireplace, like you just saw with mine with the curtains open, there's nothing in there. And that runs all day. And then suddenly at 4 p.m., it turns into a roaring fireplace with a roaring fire. And I thought that was kind of a cool idea. And it helps us extend our use of Crontab. Okay, software that you're going to need. You're going to do a fresh install of Raspberry Pi OS or use an existing copy of Buster. Either works. If you're going to do a fresh install, we've done this a million times. Pick up the Raspberry Pi Imager from raspberrypi.com, download it, and just run it with a micro SD card installed in your computer, and you'll be able to pick an operating system, pick the Raspberry Pi OS, and off you go. You're going to have to download a program called Screen, sudo apt install Screen. This is all in my notes, so I'm not going to put this up on the screen because I want to get to it here. Screen is a screen management program that allows you, enables you, Scott would say, having corrected me for using the word allow. Sorry, Scott. To have a screen process going on that doesn't lock up the command line area that you launched it from, because otherwise I can't go in and manually control what's going on my live screen. You'll see what I mean. And of course, if you're going to do remote management, now that's the great thing about this thing. Once it's done and installed, it doesn't need to be connected to a network. It runs standalone all by itself. It automatically triggers when it's supposed to. It shuts off when it's supposed to. But if you want to make changes to it, You're either going to have to hook up a keyboard to it. You've already got a screen, or you can remote connect to it by connecting it with a network. That was an interesting thing. I could have showed that. Okay, too late. You're going to need your Fireplace video. There's a bazillion of them downloadable on the net. Some of them have advertising in them, some don't. And there are rippers for, as Andre pointed out, there's lots of people who have filmed 10 hours of their Fireplace going. And it's really kind of cool. I've seen some very smart ones where they stop filming when the fire gets low so they can load another log in or two and then start again. So you don't get to see the hands loading the logs. And then suddenly, okay, the fire's growing. That's kind of cool. And there's lots of extractors and ripper programs out there that you can use. And that don't steal copyrighted content, but you get the idea. We're going to run the show in full screen, of course. I don't want to see the frame of VLC or a web browser or anything like that. And now here's the cool thing. Most of you have probably used VLC in the past, and you can make it run full screen by right-clicking and select full screen or use one of the controls at the bottom. We don't want to do any of that. We can't use the GUI interface because we're going to use Crontab to launch a command, which happens from the command line. So VLC comes very handily with a command line operative control that has lots and lots and lots and lots of switches available to it. We're going to use a couple simple ones. Two of them, in fact. One is double dash full screen. I'll show you that when I get the scripts up. So that obviously generates the thing in full screen, no borders, no nothing. Dash capital L, that causes it to loop. So if you have a really long video, you won't need the -L. If you, I've got a 10-hour one, so I don't use -L on mine, but if you've got a 30-minute one, you want it to recycle, you'll use -L. And then I found another one on here. I think it's double dash, no dash OSD. When you launch a video, you'll use any video display program that you like, the one that comes with Microsoft VLC. When it first launches, you get in white text the file name of whatever you're showing, and it fades away in a couple of seconds. But if you don't want to see that at all, you can add to the command line for VLC. In fact, it's CVLC, command line VLC, dash or double dash, no dash OSD, and you won't have to see that. So that's kind of cool. There is one thing that I learned that you have to do, and I want to demo this to you. So stand by here. Let's get things sharing and showing. Bring up this computer, excuse me, Raspberry. And then we share. So notice that this is a new background. This is how you can tell that it was a fresh install of Bullseye instead of the old Buster, which had the towers and the temples at I think Angkor Wat, it looks like. All right, so what you're going to do before you ever start anything is you're going to run VLC, sound and video, VLC. And all we're doing this for is to make a change to one of the settings. So I'm going to go into Tools, Preferences, trying to do this by memory, Video, and then right here at Output, it normally says Default, and you need to change that to OpenGL Video Output and save the changes. Otherwise, your video may not show. Depends on the video, but I used an MP4 and VLC wasn't happy with that showing it on my Raspberry Pi. So I changed it and that worked. All right, I'm just going to keep this up and talk through our project now, show you what you need to see. Again, PyRsquare, PIRSQUARE.zapto.org. Get the download documents. You'll get all the files that I'm talking about here. You'll get all the steps that I'm talking about. You can just follow along on that. It's a lot easier, probably, than listening to me yammer. Okay, did that, change the OpenVL. Okay, so let me demonstrate, first of all, how to run VLC from the command line, and then a couple things that you can do with it. Well, you're just an inconvenient little mess. Sorry. Microsoft has changed something about Word, and it's very challenging to do some things with it that I do on a normal basis. Okay, so VLC is automatically already installed with Raspberry Pi OS, and you run it from the command line with cvlc, command VLC, and let's just start with help, /help. And here is the bazillions upon bazillions upon bazillions of switches and flags that can be run with it. We're only going to use 2 or 3. So here's that -L for loop. Okay, here's the on-screen display. That's the thing that shows you the file name. So /no-OSD, so I won't see the file name come up. And then the only other thing you have to do after that, am I missing one? Oh, full screen, of course. I'm afraid to do full screen on here for fear of what's going to happen when I'm working with you. So I'm not going to do that at the moment. But let me type in the command that you would run here. Now, let me show you something. Clear ls. So I got a Fireplace video in here. It's called 720fireplace.mp4. And let me just run it normally. cvlc, and then the name of the file, 720fireplace.mp4. Don't worry about that buffer deadlock error message. And it's going to come up a little bit choppy. See down here, 720fireplace.mp4 faded away. So that's what no OSD is going to fix. And because I didn't use the screen program, I'm stuck in this program. In order to get out of it, I've got to do Control-C, and yay. So in order to use this as a command that we can take advantage of, we would say cvlc -- full screen, which I'm not going to hit the enter key on, -L if we want to loop it, and -- no OSD, and then 720 Fireplace. So let me get rid of the full screen. And hit the big enter key on there. Buzz, buzz, grind, grind. Okay, so no OSD down here. Not full screen. It's going to loop in 10 hours. It'll start over. All right, back over here to kill it with Control-C, which we don't want to do in a real world situation. But that was a kind of a demo thing. Okay, cool. Next. Reading my notes. So you need a monitor, whatever size makes you happy. I needed, I originally, when I started experimenting with this a week ago, I used a board to cover and painted it black to cover the bottom of the thing. But then when I got that big screen on there, looks pretty cool. I did have to remove the pedestal from my television because it was too big to fit in that frame, and there wasn't a good way to hide it. So, all right, general steps: install a fresh copy of RPi OS or use your existing one. That's okay. If you're using the most recent version, the last legacy version, VLC is built into there as well. Of course, you can connect to it with physical keyboard and use the screen or monitor that you've got. You can do everything as far as programming goes and installations and copies, excuse me, with SSH. or with real VNC as we're doing it. So step number one, after you've got a running version of Windows or of Windows, Raspberry Pi OS, and you have downloaded screen, sudo. Hang on. Once again, I have done that thing. There we go. Sudo apt install screen. You hit the enter key on that. It takes 10 seconds. We do it now. It'll say, you're already current. Go away. Okay, I've gone away. And run VLC from the utility to change the default video output to OpenGL. All right, now we're ready to do business. Wow. Sorry, totally lost my location in my notes because I typed something mistakenly. Sorry, it'll take me a minute to find myself. Okay, did the L. Oh yeah. So the way the gent from whom I got this idea stopped the program was an interesting little piece of work. And I had a tough time recreating it. He was doing a specific command that works with OMX player. That didn't work for me. It doesn't work with VLC, but I found a program that will work. And let me show you what's going on here. I'm going to open up a second window, a second terminal window here. In this one, I'm going to launch my video. And now I need a command that I can run in Crontab, which basically means a command line command that will stop this, because otherwise I have to go in here and use Control-C, and that's not something Crontab can do, and that's not something I want to do as a human. Oh, hang on, I got to go turn the Fireplace off. Hang on, let me connect to Raspberry Pi and get into the window and do Control-C. No. So how about, this is a command that's built into Linux, kill all, and then any program that's running that starts with VLC. Bam, done. All my problems have gone away. So now we found a command that we can use to stop the video from playing, and that's awesome. By the way, if you don't do that OpenGL change, you'll get a bunch of other errors here, in addition to the ones that, the fact that you may or may not be able to see your video, you'll just see a blank screen. This, by the way, is not actually an error. This is a normal condition. And it's saying, hey, I can't send this out on a stream because I haven't programmed this thing to send it out on a stream. Go away, Stern Law Group. I don't know who you are, but I'm not doing anything with you. Excuse me. All right, back to notes. So we're just about ready to get fired up here. That's all kind of some background. Now, you may know that there are ways to kill processes in Windows. We have the task kill command, all one word, 2Ks, you use that. You got to learn that for A+. Linux has a pkill command for killing a process. You can do that by name or by number, but then there's this awesome one, kill all, that if you use it correctly and the stuff you're running doesn't have similar names as things that need to continue running, it's a great little thing. All right, so we've installed screen with our sudo apt install screen. It's a screen management utility. VLC is already pre-installed. We've tested CVLC, it works. We're learning to automate the start and stop process. Okay, so next you're going to create a pair of scripts, and you're going to create them in the etc init.d folder. And the name of the scripts are videoloop.sh and videoloop. Where are you? Where's the off one? I just changed the name of these files before I started. Oh, raggedy schmetz. Did I lose it and accidentally erase it or copy it someplace else? I'll bet I did. Okay, that's all right. I can recreate it. And it's a good thing to do. So you're going to create it by doing, since that's in a place that you can't normally get to, we're going to say sudo nano. And then the path to it, etc init.d, and then the name of the program. The first program you're going to create will be videoloop.sh, video loop. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do the second one that you're going to create, videoloop-off.sh. It's a new file. And then you're going to use one of the files that I've put in the download archives. I wasn't planning on opening that, so let me go get it. Standby, checklist, show notes. Did I put in show notes? No, it's not in show notes. Standby, gotta go get the file. There it is, video loop off sh. Open with, what are you doing? Move this window away from the shared application. Go away. I don't care if they see it. Okay, fine. I'll edit with Notepad+. I don't care. No, I don't want to do any updating right now. Thank you very much. Okay. So these two programs are very similar. Some minor differences. And I just want to show you some critical things. This is a bash script. So we start with a shebang to whack bin, whack bash. Everything with a pound sign is, of course, a remark line or an inactive line. And first thing we're going to do here is we're going to set up a variable called video underscore path. And then you're just going to set a path here to wherever your fireplace, your fire video is. So mine's in whack home, whack pie. Here's the name of the file. And then down here, now this case thing is kind of cool. And that's bash program that I'm not going to get into, but it basically says there are some different words that you can put after the command to make different things happen, different subroutines. So there's 3 in here, and oh, it's not in this one. It's in the other one. I'll show you that. Something's weird. Main video loop, kill all. Okay, so here's the 3 cases. So we've got start, which is here. Start's a case, stop is a case, and repair is a case. And this thing says, if it fails, restart it. It's kind of a cool little thing. All right, so here's the meat of the thing. Our program says screen, open up a new screen that can control everything and run the video loop shell program and run it by saying CVLC, full screen, no OSD, and then it'll plug the variable in from up here. And we use that because in the other program, the video loop, not video loop off, we use that in different places, so it's easier. All right, I'm going to save this with Control X, save the modified buffer, yes, and enter for the name. So now we ls it. Whoops. It looks like it's here, but it's not. Goodness gracious. Okay, so here's the one we just created. And notice that it's not green like all the other ones. That's because it's not executable. So when you create your 2 scripts, videoloop.sh and videoloop-off.sh, make them executable by saying chmod plus x, executable, and then the name of the file. Oops, I got to do sudo because I'm in a folder where my account doesn't have power. Sudo chmod x, video loop minus off sh. Now when we ls, there it is, it's green. Let's take a look at the start the video file. What video loop off does is it runs a still image. What video loop is it runs a video image. So nano video loop .sh. And by the way, if you edit the file after it's already executable, it stays executable. Huh. I made them backward. Doesn't matter. The right stuff is in the right files. And I'll double check that tonight just to make sure. So here we're going to video loop, full screen, minus L, no OSD. And I put an image path here. So this one's backward, but get the idea. When the image is done, it'll stop playing it. Or if we send a command, if we say video loop off, a video loop stop, then it will run kill all VLC. All right. Let's check one other. Okay, there's the usage, start, stop, repair, video loop sh. Okay. And that's the video image path. Okay, this is still. All right, we're going to make a fix to this so that it's right. I've got file names backward somehow. I didn't want to do that. CD init etc init.d. All right, so we're going to rename video loop.sh. We do that with the move command, move video loop.sh, and I'm just going to call it video loop 1. Just for a moment. And now I'm going to rename video loop off to video loop. And then I'm going to take that video loop 1 that I made and turn it into video loop off. Sudo move video loop 1.sh to video loop off.sh. Okay, so we got a video loop off shell. We got a video loop shell. Let's take a look at video loop, make sure everything is what it should be. Cat video loop. Okay, playback started, playback stop. It's video path, and the video is an MP4. That looks good. Let's check the off one. It should have a still image in its path. Okay, the image path is fireplace.jpg. Okay, good. Everything looks good here. Got image path in the variables. So you're going to create those 2 scripts, just copy and paste them from the files that are in the download and save them to the etc init.d. Remember, anything that you do in there, anything that you copy in there, anything that you try to change in there will require use of the sudo command. Okay, now we're at the meat of the program, what we came to do, and that was to learn Crontab. Now, Crontab can be executed in one of 2 ways. You can say Crontab space -e, or you can do sudo Crontab space -e. Since we're going to be running commands that are in places that need sudo power, we're going to run sudo Crontab. Oh, let's test these and see if there's something really cool about it. So how about, it's a bash script, .whack video loop .sh. Oops. It says, hey, you got to use the word start, stop, or repair. Okay, start. And I think this is going to full screen it. Playback started. I don't know if you can see full screen on this thing. Again, it's choppy because it's going over the net, but it's running. And what I would do if I want to manually stop it is I would establish an SSH connection. But notice that where I launched this from, I've got a prompt. I don't have to Control C out of here. All I got to do is say video loop stop. That's what the screen command enabled me to be able to do. Now, how about we do the video loop off? That's for displaying images. Okay, the image display is started, and here comes a still image of an empty fireplace. I'll escape out of that, but I don't have to do that if I'm using Crontab. Hope I'll escape out of that. There we go. And so we'll video loop off, stop it. All right, so the commands are good. They're tested. The scripts are good. Not CLS, clear. All right, so let's get into Crontab. Now, before we get into Crontab, I want to show you how Crontab works. It has a text file that it refers to every minute and during other events like boot ups and so forth. And so what we're going to do with Crontab, I'm going to stop that share and I'm going to share a different screen with you here, I hope. I should not be in the corner like that. Something's weird. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay. All right, so we're going to put a line in Crontab for each command that we want to run. And the line will start out with a number that's the minutes of the hour. So if I put 15 in there, it'll be 15 minutes after the hour. 20 is 20 minutes after the hour. The next number will be the hour. So if I want something to happen at 1 o'clock in the morning, I would say 001. You can use 2 digits or 1 digit for any of these values. If you leave a star, it means anytime, all the time. And then any place that you don't have a star limits the anytime, all the time. So, all right, now it's in 24-hour time. So if I want something to happen at 4:15 in the afternoon, I'll say 15 for 15 minutes past the hour, and then 16 for the 4 o'clock hour. And here you can specify only on a particular day of the month, or only on a particular month. Only want these things to run in December, or only want them to run on December 3rd. And then finally, only if it's December 3rd at 4:15 on Sunday, put in a value of 0. So this is the basic syntax. And then here's the command that we want it to happen when this time trigger occurs. So here we go. Let's take, let me get get the default Crontab. I've got a text file in the downloadable area for you to copy and paste from that you can get started, and then you can modify it. And go over here, open up my Crontab entries. There they are. Share this with you. We're just about done. All right, so I'm going to say sudo, stop it, sudo crontab -e for edit. And that creates a file, and that file name changes every time you run this. So don't bother to try to memorize it. And here's the default Crontab, or that's almost default. I've been in there. It's just all remark lines for you to read and get ideas. So let me paste in what I just copied. And here we've got 4 commands. Now it's important on the last command that you do an enter. If there's no enter on here, the command doesn't exist. So as long as you can get down to the next line, you're good to go. All right, so at time 4 o'clock p.m., any day of the week, any month, sorry, any day of the month, any month, and any day of the week. You can, here's your key: minutes, hours, day of month, day of week. We want to run whack Etsy, whack init.d, whack video loop off.sh, stop. That's in case anything is running at 4 o'clock, we'll stop it. And notice that I don't have to do dot whack in front of here. That's why we put that shebang at the beginning of each of those files. Crontab looks at that file and says, oh, it's got shebang, whack bin, whack bash. It knows to run this with a bash program editor. And then 1 minute later, at 4:01, we're going to start the video loop file. So I got a couple of typos here. .sh should be here, not here. There we go. Okay, I can get to the next line. All right, so at 4 o'clock, we turn off any video loops that are running. At 4:01, we start our video loop with the Fireplace. At 11:59 p.m., we stop the video. And at midnight, we start the still image, in my case, of the empty Fireplace. So save this with Control X. You want to save it? Yes. What do you want to call it? This, whatever you said it should be, enter. And notice, it says Crontab is installing a new Crontab. That means I have just dumped everything I knew about whatever cron was doing, the cron scheduler, and I've read this file, and that's what I'm going to execute from now on. So starting at 4 o'clock local time, notice up here, it's always based on local time. He's going to launch that video. By the way, by default, this thing only shows hours and minutes. You can change that to add seconds. I need seconds in there. You just right click, change the digital clock settings. And the default here is %R, that's hours and minutes. Change it to %T, that adds seconds. And there's always individual ones here, %hour, %minute, %day. But that was useful. This is also something new with Bullseye. If you see this symbol, that means updates are available, and all you got to do is click on it. You no longer have to do sudo apt update, ampersand, sudo apt -y upgrade. Just click that and updates happen. Kind of cool. However, it bothers me too much because there's always a new update happening. I will continue for a while to use the old sudo apt update, sudo apt -y upgrade. I'm not going to hit the enter key on this right now, or we'll be here I don't know how long. Stop it. Well, that's it, kids. With that, now we just plug this thing into your monitor. You set it up wherever you want your digital display to go. You can disconnect your network, power it, and it's running. That's magic. But the goal here was to expose you to Crontab. I showed you Crontab before when we did that anti-malware scan. It was a one-liner that scanned for malware at midnight, and when it was done, it was done. But here we can do a lot more things. And what I wanted to really expose you to was this thing that I started to show you. Let's review. Share screen, this one. This is the syntax of the line that goes in Crontab. Minutes after the hour, hour in 24-hour format, day of month, the month in numerical format, and the day of week, 0 through 6, where 0 is Sunday. Do a different command for each entry on there, and you can schedule anything that you can do a reboot at a particular time. You can do a shutdown at a particular time. You can run any program at a particular time, stop programs with PS kill or P kill. There we go. It's good stuff. All right, how are we doing here? It's 3:15. That's awesome. Let me check notes and comments. Then we'll do a contest, and then we'll start winding things up. Loving this stuff. Quick show. Oh, is there anything else in here that I wanted to see? I did that. Oh, Discord. Back channel, would you be so kind as to put up the Discord link? I will not be on Discord today because I got to bail out of here ASAP. But I will put this up and Scott will put the link up. There is an unofficial Discord channel on which we hang out frequently. Typically after the show, we get on with cameras and microphones, and we encourage you to join up and get face-to-face with us. We can talk about any kind of topic, and we can be a little less formal than perhaps we do here, and certainly provide a lot more detail. There's longer text that you can do in there, and of course I can see body language and watch your lips move if you do that. So if you will join us on Discord, this thing is usually good for about a week. It changed 2 or 3 days ago, so it's good for a couple of days. But if you go here, you're watching this on the archive 10 months from now, and you click on this or type this in, it'll get there and it'll say it's retired or it's expired. Just look around that page or click it again, click harder. And there will be an option to continue anyways, and you will find yourself invited to the unofficial Total Seminars Discord link, built and operated by Jose Braden and many moderators who hang out here on these shows. All right, that is all of the slides I think that I had to share with you. I hope so, because I just... What else is there? Oh, yeah, well, there will be one more. We got the voucher winner. Yeah. Checking notes. Did that, did all that, did all that, did that, did that, did those. All right. So that's going to be the contest winner when I get to that in just a couple of micro moments. So let's see what's happened online while I was gone with the chat channel. I'm going all the way back to 226. Oh, and I super scrolled. Good thing I mentioned that. There wasn't too much that happened in that time, but some. Okay, Choco Taco's here. Hey, Choco. Jason and people talking back and forth to each other. It's been a whole minute and trying to buy a house. So, oh, wow. Buying a house these days. Kudos to you, man. Last page proofs, glossary and exam page map. Drop just for, yeah, right. So page proofs are when they're just about ready to print and Scott's got to go through the last of the last and say, I'm good with this. No, fix that. Move this word around. And it's very nitpicky work. It takes somebody like Scott. He is an editor because he is so wonderfully detail oriented. He's so consistent. And that's why he gets these projects and does them. And that's why he drinks. Cool. Okay, reading messages here, passing 233, closing in mid to late January. Cool. House buying, currently 73 Fahrenheit, where Chaco is in Huntsville. Yeah, I remember that. Yes, Scott's grammar police. He's good at it. And he's kind. He's not grammar Nazi. He points out this is the way it's done. And I argue sometimes. I've seen it done this way. Always working on Pi remotely, too lazy. Absolutely. I use 99% of my Pi. The only Pi that I don't manage remotely is my joyous Retro Pi, because that just doesn't work remotely. The stuff is always buffing, huh? Jason at 241. David Gomez is here. You like these live videos? I learned so much from host and everyone else. Good. Happy to help, David. Join us on Discord and be live yourself. We will learn from you in the same way. Can't follow along? My micro SD cards in storage. Okay. They have more. You can get them at the store. Catherine's here. I must run. Goodbye, Catherine. You didn't see me say goodbye. Sorry. Okay, and Scott posted the Discord link at 3:15, so you can just copy and paste that. David lost connection, but he's back. Wilson says goodbye. Wilson's talking to Scott. Krampus Dumpling is here. Oof, I think I'm late. Yeah, but you didn't miss much. We started at 2:30. You got 2/3 of it. And you can always watch it on archive or replay. Yeah, You're getting high marks on practice. Okay, right. Oh, I missed that. Oh, there it was. Okay, because you guys were talking personally. Pass ITF, I'm scared. Right. Just practice tests and study. You're going to do, if you pass ITF, Scott teaches that, right? If you can pass something that Scott teaches, you can pass anything. Scott is a wonderful teacher. I have learned much from him. I've sat in on classes that he's taught and learned from him. So he's great as well, you know. And nobody else uses peanut butter and jelly in their classes. Reading messages, passing 304. My internet is having problems. The whole internet? And it's yours? That explains so much. Yes, I did the fire thing too on some of my emojis, Steady Shark. Click harder. Yep, got to click harder. So TD Washington, Avanut, and other, formerly known as an Alibis. This project inspired me to make a virtual aquarium with an old CRT TV. And take a look. Lots of people have done that. And what's really fun, I saw one in the last month or so where they did it with 2 monitors on a 4B, and it's really creative in order to get a good seam between the 2 monitors so that when fish are passing, they have the right amount of space for the head and the tail to appear and disappear. It's kind of a cool thing. Pick me, pick me. You have a chance. You haven't won yet. Should be able to get VGA to coaxial converter. Yeah, okay. Can I set an IP address on a Pi by editing a file on the SD card? No. Nope. You've got to edit a different file, and the name escapes me. It's not supplicant. I'll do a shindig on that in a week or so. It's something I can do in 10 minutes or less. Scott's chugging while he edits the massive page proof file. I got an SD card in my laptop. Cool. Is that what your laptop runs on? You should consider a hard drive or an SSD. Reading messages. Hey, I'm almost done here. PBJ sounds kind of sticky. You know, if you haven't seen Scott's IT fundamentals and how he teaches programming with a PBJ, you're missing something. That's, you know, if we don't have that posted, I think it's posted on publicly accessible forum, Scott. And if it's not, that's a good teaser. We should definitely get that out there. The peanut butter and yeah, right. Yeah. Wilson passed ITF recently. He remembers it. Okay, I'm caught up. It's 3:21, and that's just absolutely perfect because I'm feeling like giving away a voucher. Now, I'm giving away the voucher. However, it ain't mine and it ain't Total Seminars. We are very grateful to Comptia. They have come to us and said, we have vouchers for you. You can give away this many per week, however you see fit in so doing. And wow, what wonderful people. And we love to take advantage of that. We're getting more and more participants. Sorry about that. That lessens your odds, but cool. And so the general way it works is we're going to select a winner here with a little contest, and I gather your information that they need, and then I send them at the end of each week. So tonight I'm going to send them all of this week's winners from Mike's show and my show, and they will get them when they come in the office on Monday morning, and they will do what they do with them when they do it. I don't know how long it takes them. Sometimes it's a week. There was a couple missing ones that we found this week. Comptia and I were working together on one, and they had been missing for almost a month. Only one person bothered to mention that. Hey, where's my thing? And they were very kind and polite about it. And you know, I don't go and pester them. We don't go and pester them, because if somebody misses one, and the result is Comptia would stop providing these very generous gifts to us because we called and complained on behalf of somebody, not going to do it. I will sacrifice you in a heartbeat so that I can get more that will help others. However, because of what I found, I was able to approach them very carefully and very gently, and we got that resolved. So to our knowledge, everybody, there is no question. I know that everybody who's won one, their information has been sent to Comptia. And that's where it ends. It's out of our hands after that. Today's contest. We're giving away a Comptia voucher, good for any exam except CYSA anywhere in the world that they're offered. If you win today, you're going to send me an email with information that I will show after the contest. Scott, you can go ahead and post the what winners should do now and note the time so we can refer back to that, because things are going to shut down pretty quick after the contest is done. I'll have a screenshot up of the same kind of information here. The contest rules. It's my show. It's my rules. Scott Mike does his a little bit differently, but my rules, because we have so few participants here. If you've won a voucher in the past, you may not win again. You can play the game today, put the word pass. I'm going to look up the winner's name and make sure that they're not a duplicate. But we're trying to make this fair. We're trying to get as many people to benefit from this as possible. And that makes sense, right? It's kind of a fairness thing. We make this as fair as possible, but because of the structure of the internet, your answer may not appear on my screen as fast as it appeared on yours. Very good. Okay, so what the winner should do when we're done with this, Scott has posted at 3:25, 25 minutes past this hour. And again, I'll post it up again on a slide when the contest is over. I try to make this as fair as possible. We're going to do random number guess because that's pretty darn fair. I'm human. I make mistakes. So once I announce the winner, if I'm right, if I'm wrong, I've announced the winner. The one wrong that I might have and fix is if you're a duplicate winner of a voucher. If you won other prizes, cool, knock yourself out. Come on in and join. Just can't win 2 vouchers on my show. And same goes if you won one on Mike's, you can't win another one on mine. There's no do-overs, there's no appeal. All right, I have more. I don't need to read all that junk. I'm using a pseudo random number generator. Today, you're going to guess a random number between 400 and 800. Closest to without going over will win. So go ahead and start posting your guesses. We'll let that run for a minute or so. And Scott, you have the number. I posted that in when we started the back channel today. But just on the off chance that you don't have it, I'll repost it on the back channel. All right, let's take a look at what's going on here with guesses. There we go, starting to turn up. Okay, I'm just reading and watching numbers here. What did Andre post? Oh, you're not even taking any exams. Square. Yes, you have to post a formula that generates our winning number. That'd be fun. Not. Okay, that one. I see a. Let's see, that one was closer. 30 more seconds. Nobody's hit it exactly, which means I didn't put it in the downloadable notes this time. I don't think I did that one time, but there's a chance. Yes, back channel. Absolutely. And that's the way I'm seeing it as well. 15 seconds. See, that's why I got to have the time thing in there. Oh, yeah. And I didn't mention, you only get one entry on this page. Okay. Have a nut who won, posted a number and said pass just for fun. Cool. Nice. Yes. One guest, Jason Helms. Okay. We're going to close it off. On my screen, TD Washington was the last one to go in. You know, until the winner came up, Jason, you had the winning number. However, there is one close to the number that our random number generated. I should do the mic thing. Let's talk for a few minutes and, you know, make you wait. We'll do a survey and, oh, I'm doing that. Okay, here we go. The number that my random number generated was 728. And so I see Steadiest Shark at 327 was closest to without going over. In fact, nobody went over. Let me put this in my notes here. Steadiest Shark, 327 with 695. Give me a moment to go put that in the appropriate notes so I can get you sent. Check the Steady as Shark, take a look at Scott's post at 3:15. And I'll put the same kind of information up here in case anybody else wins in the future. And there's going to be 3 winners next week. Share this. Steady as Shark, you being in the UK. What's going on there? Okay, that'll work. Something funny happened. So you're going to send an email to me at davar@totalsem.com. Identify yourself, starting with the YouTube name. So I want to see Steady as Shark in there, and then your full first and last name. I need to see the email address that you're registering with Comptia. It's got to be in the body of the email. I don't want to extract it from the header. Which exam would you like? Any Comptia exam is fair game. Be specific. Use the number. So don't say Sec Plus, because that could be SY0501 or SY0601, or A Plus, because that could be one of 2 numbers. So give me the exact exam number. Tell me the country where you intend to take the Comptia exam. And I know this doesn't apply to you, Steady as Shark. You're not in the US unless, you're coming to the US and you're going to take it here, in which case you must also, if you're in the US, you must also include the state where you're going to take the exam. If you already have a registration with Comptia, use the same name and email that you have used under previous registrations. Cool. That's it, man. Congratulations, Steady as Shark. Man, we moving a lot of vouchers into the UK, Scott. We might have to put a limit on that. No, I'm not. All right, checking final questions here. The secret to winning is to fast forward the live stream to the revealed answer, then go back and guess in real time. Yes, right, we need a TARDIS. All right, well, I'm going to wind things up here today. It was a little speedy. I apologize again because I had to get rushed. Monday, today is 3rd, 4th, 5th. Monday's the 6th. The 8th, Mike has Dr. James Stanger on his show. I'm going to do my regular show on the 10th. And 7 days later, the 17th, I will definitely do a regular show then. And we'll see what happens after that, because then the holidays start around here. And I got a couple of weeks of vacation bank that I need to do. If it's staycation, I will consider doing a show, but I got to decide whether or not we think there's going to be much of a turnout. I think we did a post-Christmas one last year, but it's different days of the week this year. So things are going to modify just a little bit, if you know what I mean. What is this? I got some kind of back channel thing going on here. Okay, he's typing. And that thing. Go wonk. All right, good meeting if you have one, Scott, today, and or Discord. Thank you for your great service. I'm going to rush out of here, so I'm not going to do the usual back channel shutdowns. My gratitude with you today, as always. All right, next week's contest. I have creative contests in mind, but I'm just not there yet. So as ever, my gratitude to Mike Myers for the time and resource to do this show, Scott, Total, everybody who comes here to participate. That, of course, is the most important thing. If you're not here, there is no show. I do have another show that I'm putting on the books. It won't be a total seminar show. It'll be Dave Rush teaches Rocky Linux, which is the same thing as Red Hat Enterprise Linux. It's going to be an evening show. I'm not going to do a daytime show because I work for Total in the daytime, and more information, but that's going to happen in January. Until then, I am Dave Rush. I'm the senior instructor at Total Seminars and resident Pi specialist. I wish you a great weekend. Take care of each other. Take serious steps to stay healthy. Call or visit your parents and the rest of your family. And never forget, technology is great, but the greatest resource that we have are you and I. So good night. I won't see you on Discord, but I will see you at the AMA on Monday. And until then, I am out of here.